Fuck yeah. All right, fans, let's dissect this monumental ghost with the precision of a musical surgeon. This was a sonic odyssey that will be studied by Phish heads for years to come.
From the moment the familiar funk groove of Ghost kicked in, it was clear we were in for something special. Trey, our fearless leader, immediately went into what can only be described as Motif King mode. His guitar work in the opening minutes was a masterclass in thematic development. He wasn't just noodling, he was weaving intricate melodies that seemed to materialize out of the ether, each one building on the last, to create a tapestry of sound that was both familiar and utterly new.
Around the 5-minute mark, the jam took its first major turn. The band, operating as a single, four-headed organism, effortlessly shifted from the dark, funky territory of traditional Ghost into a blissful major key exploration. Page's piano work here was particularly noteworthy, providing a sparkling counterpoint to Trey's soaring leads.
But Phish wasn't content to stay in Blissville for long. At about 12 minutes in, Trey hit a series of dissonant chords that signaled another sea change. The jam plunged into darker, more experimental waters. Mike's bass lines became more prominent, providing a thick, syrupy foundation for Trey's increasingly adventurous soloing.
The real magic, however, happened around the 18-minute mark. The jam seemed to lose steam, teetering on the brink of dissolution. Lesser bands might have called it quits here, but not our boys. With the kind of patience that only comes from decades of musical telepathy, they allowed the silence to breathe. Phish's subtle cymbal work here was crucial, providing just enough rhythmic texture to keep things afloat.
And then, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the jam was resurrected. Trey found a new motif, a simple four-note phrase that he repeated with increasing intensity. The rest of the band latched onto this lifeline, building the energy back up with a slow burn that had the entire venue holding its breath.
But the piece de resistance came at the 26-minute mark. Without warning, Trey cranked his overdrive to 11 and unleashed a riff so heavy it could have flattened mountains. This wasn't just Phish flirting with metal. This was Phish grabbing metal by the throat and bending it to their will. The contrast between this bone-crushing heaviness and the ethereal exploration that preceded it was nothing short of mind-blowing.
Page's organ work during this section deserves special mention. His chord choices added a layer of harmonic complexity that elevated the jam from mere headbanging territory into something truly transcendent. Meanwhile, Phish and Mike locked into a groove so tight it could bend light, providing the perfect foundation for Trey's face-melting pyrotechnics.
As the Ghost finally wound to a close, clocking in at a monumental 30 minutes, the crowd erupted in a roar that threatened to drown out the band itself. We had just witnessed something truly special, a jam that encompassed the full spectrum of Phish's improvisational capabilities, from delicate beauty to earth-shaking power.
All right, fans, strap yourselves in because we're about to dissect the soul planet that emerged from the smoldering remains of that epic Ghost. This wasn't just a jam. This was a 30-minute journey to the outer reaches of the Phish universe.
From the moment Soul Planet kicked off, it was clear the band wasn't content to rest on their laurels. Trey immediately deployed his dissonant ring mod, a sonic curveball that set the stage for the exploratory nature of what was to come. This brief foray into alien soundscapes lasted only a minute or so, but it was enough to cleanse the palate and prepare us for the feast ahead.
Around the 5-minute mark, the band locked into a groove that can only be described as dangerously infectious. Mike's bass work here was particularly noteworthy, laying down a foundation so solid you could build a skyscraper on it. Phish, meanwhile, was in rare form, his drumming a perfect blend of precision and fluidity that kept the jam moving forward while allowing plenty of space for exploration.
The real magic started to happen around the 10-minute mark when the band shifted gears into a euphoric major key section. Trey found a melodic theme here that was nothing short of transcendent. His guitar work soared and swooped, each note seeming to push the energy in the room higher and higher. Of Page's piano work during this section deserves special mention, his cascading runs providing the perfect counterpoint to Trey's soaring leads.
Just when we thought the jam might be winding down, Around the 16-minute mark, Trey hit the afterburners. The band seamlessly transitioned into a classic minor key Phish exploration that had echoes of some of their best late 90s jams. The interplay between all of four members here was nothing short of telepathic. Mike and Phish locked into a groove that was simultaneously driving and malleable, providing the perfect foundation for Trey and Page to weave their sonic tapestry.
The final peak of this jam, which hit around the 25-minute mark, was nothing short of celestial. Trey unleashed a series of ascending runs that seemed to defy gravity, each one pushing higher and higher until it felt like the roof of the venue might lift off. The crowd response here was deafening, a roar of appreciation that threatened to drown out the band itself.
And let's not forget the visual component of this cosmic journey. CK5 was operating on another level entirely, his lightwork a perfect complement to the band's sonic explorations. The illusion of rolling balls of light during the more rhythmic sections was particularly impressive, creating a sense of movement and flow that matched the music perfectly. During the more ambient sections, his use of shimmering waves of light created an almost aquatic feel, as if we were all submerged in some alien ocean of sound and color.
As Soul Planet finally wound to a close, clocking in at just over 30 minutes, it was clear we had witnessed something truly special. This wasn't just a great jam. This was Phish operating at the absolute peak of their improvisational powers. It was a reminder of why we keep coming back show after show, year after year, for those transcendent moments when the music takes on a life of its own and we're all along for the ride.
In the end, this Soul Planet, coming on the heels of that monumental Ghost, cemented this second set as one for the ages. It was Phish, not just pushing the boundaries of what's possible in live music, but redrawing those boundaries entirely. As we filed out of the venue, still buzzing from the musical high, one thing was clear: the adventure continues. And if this set is any indication, we're in for one hell of a cosmic journey. See you at the next show, fans.
As we filed out of the venue, still buzzing from the musical high, one thing was clear: the adventure continues, and if this set is any indication, we're in for one hell of a ride. See you at the next show, fans. The cosmos awaits.